The freedom to choose is a core American value. By signing a union card and joining the UAW, you've chosen to preserve freedom. That freedom to collectively bargain our terms of employment provided America with the largest middle class in the world. But it didn't come easy, and it must always be protected and preserved. Hundreds of thousands of strong women and men have built the foundation in which we are afforded the opportunity to do better and to live better. They often did this through extreme hardship and sacrifice, sometimes at the expense of spilled blood and lost lives. They did it together through solidarity with each other and with the communities in which they work and live. Where we are going is based on knowing and understanding where we've been, what we've been through, and how we've grown. Empowering people and changing lives through education and shared prosperity is what drives the UAW. Our history began in 1935 as workers faced a high tide of human suffering that brought a wave of solidarity among exploited workers and the unemployed alike. Phrases like sit-down strikes, hunger marches, and company goons entered into the national consciousness. Brave working people banded together and fought tenaciously at General Motors at the Flint sit-down strike, the Battle of the Overpass at Ford Motor Company, and countless other work sites where working people were denied basic rights in the workplace. Working people soon understood that by banding together, they could have some control over their lives in the workplace. When the dark clouds of tyranny overseas reached our shores in the form of World War II, we transformed our work sites into the arsenal of democracy that helped win freedom for so many. Women were especially important during this period, as Rosie the Riveters occupied so many factory jobs as men went overseas to battle. But that middle-class standard of living was still largely unattainable for people of color. Injustices in the workplace and outside prevented them from their opportunity at the American dream. Iconic UAW President Walter Reuther wanted to change that. The UAW was criticized, but Walter felt strongly that the union had a moral obligation to society, even though to some it wasn't popular. The UAW was committed to social and moral justice and walked side by side from the beginning with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights period. The UAW supported the civil rights struggles led by Cesar Chavez and fought apartheid in South Africa, helping to free Nelson Mandela. Social justice was never a buzzword with the UAW. It was in our organizational DNA from the start. Changes in the automotive market, economic crisis, social miseducation, stiff opposition from well-funded anti-union groups, and other setbacks have taken a toll on our union, but we never stray from the solidarity that helped found this union and sustains us to this day. At the onset of the auto crisis in 2008, there was the danger that the entire domestic auto industry would collapse during the Great Recession. Our members sacrificed not only for themselves, but to save their entire industry, as a collapse of two automakers would have brought about the collapse of all automakers and suppliers, union and non-union alike. Naysayers criticized the UAW, the government, and the automakers for working together to save their industry. But solidarity within the ranks and a willingness to see beyond our own self-interests helped fuel the great recovery that our nation is now experiencing. But it's not enough. We won't rest until all working people have the choice to freely decide on whether they want union representation. We struggle against well-financed corporate interests and their shadowy front groups because it's the right thing to do for America. We proved it before in our history, and we'll prove it again. We believe that working together raises the level of our voices so that our concerns are heard and addressed. We believe that working together improves productivity, quality, and safety. Our work would count for little if we work in unsafe conditions, make subpar products, or if the companies for whom we toil cannot turn a decent profit. The UAW has blazed the trail for working people with health insurance, job security, health and safety standards, fair work procedures, negotiated pensions, joint quality programs, and many more. We helped build the strongest middle class in the world. We helped right injustices to our brothers and sisters around the world. And we saved an iconic American industry through our belief in collective bargaining and shared sacrifice. We will fight to share in the prosperity that our hard work brings, and we'll fight to make sure our voices are heard and our concerns are addressed. We are fighters, believers, and organizers. We push, we pull, we argue, we get dirty, we try. We work hard because in solidarity, we are one. We believe in each other, we count on each other, and we hope in each other. We are a force of unity and of strength. We are a center of assurance and support. We fight for the underdog, the everyman and the everywoman, the underpaid and the overworked, and the undercared for and the unprotected. We are the UAW.